Welcome to this month's Greg Griffith Leadership Podcast. Join Greg Griffith as we together learn what it means to be leaders of our world as we faithfully love and faithfully lead. Like, share, rate, and review this podcast with your friends and others of influence, for they too are looking for people like you to help them lead and love day to day. Without further ado, here is your host, Greg Griffith.
Hello, leaders. It is so good to be with you today. Want to spend a couple minutes just talking about something that has been on my heart for many, many times, but want to continue to press into this because I really do believe in its value. When we talk about leading, I think one of the primary characteristics of a good leader is going to be their ability to cast praise and accept blame. I think it's sometimes so easy for leaders to find reasons why things aren't working, find people who were in places where things weren't working, and really to say, hey, look, here's what I'm doing, here's what I've done, here's how I am. But when something goes wrong, to kind of give that to someone else. But what I've found is that a good leader will cast praise. And when things go well, will always be shining and saying, yeah, this team I have, this team that's happening, this thing that's it, this is the reason. And it's always going to be dependent on other leaders being raised up. When things aren't going well, to look and say, you know, I'm sorry about that. Yep, we can fix that. Yeah, that's on me. Because as I think it was either President Eisenhower or President Truman, I'm starting to lean towards President Truman, who said the buck stops here. And leader, if you're a leader, the buck does stop with you. And so accept that blame and cast that praise. Your organization is going to be better for it. The people you serve are going to be better for it, because they're going to notice it. Lastly, I think it's a self-awareness issue, right? And I would even say a humble issue, right? If I can't recognize why something wasn't working because of what I've done or what I failed to do, then that's on me, because the reality is everything I do isn't perfect. So I think that's just a really important part in leadership that I want to encourage you today as you lead to think about is, how are you casting praise and accepting blame? Because I too often see leaders accept praise and cast blame. By the way, when I'm working with a young leader and I notice that they are not doing this, that something's going on, and they say, well, that's not me, or that was someone else's fault, or, oh, yep, that was them. That tells me a little bit about the maturity of their leadership. Not saying they can't be a good leader, but it is the maturity of their leadership. Lastly, I'll say this. In the next couple of days, weeks, maybe even months to come, the point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, who, as of this recording, were just eliminated from the playoffs by the Atlanta Hawks, he said he didn't do enough. He said he's got to focus on the offseason. He's got to get this. You know, I actually think that's pretty good leadership. I think that's really good leadership. Now, it's countercultural, which is why his head coach said, I don't know if he can be the point guard of a championship team. I actually would say I think he's on the right track to being the point guard of a championship team, because his character is showing that. He's stepping up. He's stepping into the fire. He didn't say it was someone else's fault. He said he owned it. That's a sign of a good leader. That would be a person I'd want on my team, leading my team, for sure. And maybe they're not there yet, but I would put my money on the reality that he is going to get there. So, leaders, that's it. Have a great day. And again, like, share, rate, review this podcast. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for being a part of this month's Greg Griffith Leadership Podcast. Join Greg next month for leadership insights to faithfully love and faithfully lead. Now go be terrific today.